Yo, what's going on, guys? Jetxc here, and hopefully you guys have been doing good. I was actually thinking I was going through my Snowbreak dailies and looking at some of the logistic female characters. And they've talked about in recent I think it's been recent survey, maybe even on stream once. Actually, I don't think on stream, but in surveys about bringing more logistic characters into the game and how people felt about that. And I think the overall consensus is people didn't mind it, I would assume. They don't really talk about survey results too much, but I think that would be something that would be cool. But, you know, that got me looking into what characters really need to be looked at before we start, kind of putting up a bunch of logistic characters in the roster. Because there's obviously some units that need to have their shine, right? And this is a nice little infograph that I've gotten from my CN bro, the guy that helps me with info on the CN side when it comes to Snowbreak or just drama in general, right? He gave me this, and this is like a nice little infograph from the CN side. It basically is showing what we got: Life, Marion, Vinny, Yao, Freesia, Enya. They all have like different versions, whether it be 4-star versions, swimsuit version, um, or just like their 5-star version, or even their wedding version, right? They already have multiple different iterations of their character. Um, and if you look here, Nita, the most recent character that we've had this patch, along with Narita, but Nita has been somebody completely that was not popular at all, and then she went from nothing to something to the point where they've done such a good job in this patch that you really feel like you know Nita to the fullest. So they really need to give that same treatment, hopefully, to, I would say, honestly, Tess and Haru, especially with those characters as well. I guess you could say Akasi and Moxer too, because they're really old as well. But um, honestly, hey, any one of these four, I think they really got to focus on with these next upcoming patches, right? We've got like a transitional patch coming, which is like one character. We got like a an Annie that should be coming, then another transitional patch, and then a um like swimsuit patch, right? So I'm hoping by the end of this year we can really get some of these characters that are on the top right here looked at, because I do want to get into just, and it might be tough, right? Because each character is obviously going to get a wedding version of themselves. But if we could start getting newer characters, like, Lizzie is somebody that's going to be coming to the game. Uh, if we can get characters like Lizzie, and then obviously maybe more logistic characters, or characters that are like having to do more with the story that get introduced to us, kind of like Narita. Narita kind of came out of nowhere, and she's a great addition to the group. But hopefully we could start getting more characters, and then we could kind of just focus on every wedding patch, right? We get to give each character their wedding skin. And, from there on, we kind of were able to finally fill out the old roster and then make room for just newer characters. That's something I hope for the future. It may take a little bit of time, but I want to see like new character, logistic characters. Um, Unfortunately, we won't get characters like probably like Tao or something like that. I would love for Tao, but I would also love for a few other characters in the game that I've talked about in the past, but they're not coming either, right? So, and even I've even made some. Well, it's probably not gonna happen. We'll save that for another video about characters that I would wish were CN players would want, but unfortunately it is what it is. But we're not gonna focus on that too much. So yeah, overall, guys, I really do hope that will start to get some of these. And it's mostly Acacia, Haru, Moxer, Tess, and hopefully Etchel down the line. I think Etchel can wait a little bit longer. But if we could get these five looked at, that would be huge. Now, obviously, they may like skip certain characters, maybe based on popularity. I don't know. But if I'm them, I would just get those four over with as soon as possible. Might be a little hard to kind of fit in the story because it's got to make sense, but whatever they can do, hopefully they do it so we could start to see new, fresh characters in the game. Hopefully, logistic characters. Hopefully, just brand new characters in general, and really start to get some new faces in Snowbreak. So, but let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the patch. I should have a Nita video coming up soon, and hopefully some other stuff with some of the new content for Snowbreak. So, yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about this. Let me know what you think and what characters you want to see ASAP based off of that chart that I showed. All right, I am out. Later.